Welcome to That's Good Sports, Super Bowl 52 prediction episode. We have the Philadelphia Eagles in one corner and the New England Patriots in another corner. And today I'm going to break down this matchup like a middle-aged woman who mixed too much liquor with her powerfully prescribed antidepressants. I'm taking the Real Housewives approach to football breakdowns now. I start with the pills and the booze, and once this channel gets big enough, I'll get those fake boobs to titillate you with. Football and boobs, let's talk housewives. Or... This episode is sponsored by BetDSI.com. There's a link in the description. Use my promo code GOOD25. And BetDSI, one of the best sports books out there, is giving you $25 free to wager. Now, once you're in BetDSI, you can bet on any game, any sport. And I'm giving you free money to bet on the Super Bowl if you would like, to turn into more money. $25 free could turn into $50, which could turn into your retirement. The Patriots are currently 5-point favorites in the Super Bowl. And I'm going to take the Eagles to cover that spread. However, this game could be a blowout on either end, really. So consider that. Now, I really think two things can win this game for the Eagles. Continuing to play well in the fourth quarter, which no football team seems to be able to do against the Patriots, and a relentless four-man pass rush that collapses the pocket from the middle. The Los Angeles Chargers this season had a great pass rush with Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram against the Patriots, but they were not able to get that interior pressure. This is the sign for that. If you see a guy doing this on the sidelines, you know he wants some interior pressure. And Tom Brady is one of the best quarterbacks at sliding into that pocket to avoid those outside pass rushers. The good news, Eagles fans, is that the Philly defensive line is built to do just that. We know Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox can blow up pockets like pool sharks, and Graham plays on the outside and can play on the interior with Tim Jernigan rotating inside, Vinny Curry manning the other edge, and Chris Long rotation as an edge rusher. And then you have Bo Allen and Derek Bennett. The Eagles have great depth on the D-line. That's the big story, right, this week? The Eagles have such great depth on that line. The bad news, Eagles fans, is that the Patriots are one of, if not the best team in the league at countering that depth by playing a no-huddle, hurry-up offense. They will take away your ability to substitute players, like whiskey will take away your ability to send the appropriate amounts of blood to your penis for performance and sex. This was the most interesting stat I saw on that matter all week, not the whiskey thing. It comes from PFF's Pat Thorman. The Eagles defense has struggled when facing offenses who run the no-huddle offense. Quarterbacks' completion percentages drop by 10, deep ball passing gets better, passer ratings increase by over 30 points, and their QB pressure rate drops. Probably because of fatigue, since it's much harder to rotate players in those situations, sort of eliminating the depth. If I'm head coach Doug Peterson, this is one of my main areas of focus this week. Extra conditioning for the big men, and a plan to try and rotate guys when the Pats say fuck huddling, which means a lot of fake injuries for you D linemen throughout the game. That's how you stop the clock, Philly. Now I guarantee if New England is behind in the fourth quarter, this is what they will do. They may not deploy this kind of offense much in the first half, mostly because they want you to believe you have them figured out, so then they can mind fuck you in the fourth quarter. But there is an answer, Philadelphia, if the Pats are running the hurry up. All you have to do is stop them. A no-huddle offense is great until you get a couple 3-and-outs. What that allows for is the Eagles' offense to start to wear down the Patriots' defense with a couple extended drives. That's why this game is going to be fun to watch. There's a way to turn every strength from either of these teams into a weakness. Really, across the board, that can happen. Now, one reason the Eagles may lose this game, though, is because of this. Yeah, Tony Danza's portrayal of a trash man turned field goal kicker in Disney's The Garbage-Picking, Field Goal Kicking Philadelphia Phenomenon.
Are you gonna let him steal your mom's TV?
Which may be one of the worst football movies of all time.
We're the Philadelphia Eagles. not the Los Angeles whoever's.
Hell, it may be one of the worst movies about garbage men of all time. The best, of course, was Men at Work, starring Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen in 1990.
It's a bra, James.
One reason the Patriots may lose, though, is because they were in fact betrayed by one of their most loyal fans when Mark Wahlberg agreed to play Vince Papale, the 30-year-old walk-on who made the Eagles roster in Invincible. That's the biggest Patriots celebrity fan playing a guy who did the impossible as an Eagle. And now he may see the impossible when the Eagles beat the Patriots in Super Bowl 52. Maybe. James Palmer on Twitter had this amazing quote from Philly running back LeGarrette Blount when he asked if Blount had any questions for former quarterback Brett Favre when Favre addresses the Eagles on Saturday. Blount asked, "How many Super Bowls has Favre won?" And when Palmer said 1, he laughed and said, "Nah, there ain't too much I want to ask him," which is fair. As Brett Favre has stated, he never learned what a nickel fucking defense was. So unless Favre's advice to Philly is don't send out dick pics to reporters, I wouldn't ask him much either. Many people believe Danny Amendola or Rob Gronkowski will be one of the offensive weapons that kill the Eagles. Amendola has been playing very well, dropping 0 passes this postseason, and Gronk is gonna Gronk. Eagles corner, though, Patrick Robinson, is a great slot corner, and he can eliminate Amendola from having a big game, especially after shutting down Adam Thielen in the championship game. Philly's defense is kind of unique in that they have 3 very talented coverage safeties, Malcolm Jenkins, Rodney McLeod, and Corey Graham, and 2 linebackers in Michael Kendricks and Nigel Bradham. Nigel is only giving up .62 passing yards per coverage snap this postseason. Most teams have 1 safety who is dog shit in coverage and 1 linebacker who is dog shit in coverage. The Eagles embraced the dog shit by becoming dogs, and now none of them are dog shit in coverage, which is noteworthy because it means they can not only cover a guy like Gronkowski, but avoid the running backs as wide receiver mismatches we see New England exploit all the time. The other over-discussed talking point this week has been, can Nick Foles actually win this game? Personally, I think Foles will play well. Maybe not as good as he did against the Vikings, but what I think he can do is play smart football for 3 quarters and make a play or 2 in the 4th when his team needs him. I think he has the composure to do that, and I think the Eagles as a team has a composure to perform in the 4th quarter. It's what Eli Manning did in both of the Giants' wins over the Patriots in the Super Bowl. It's what Russell Wilson did before Pete Carroll doomed them with the worst call in sports history, and it's what Blake Bortles did not do 2 weeks ago. Bortles had like 3 chances to put a drive together to win that game. The only QB I've ever seen play like shit in the 4th quarter and still beat the Patriots was Jay Cutler this season in the Dolphins-Pats game. So I would not bet on that formula for success. Never bet on the Cutler formula for a victory, all right? That's like betting on double zeros at the roulette table. It better be the luckiest day of your life for that to work. Through 2 playoff games, the Philly D has given up 10 points and 7 points, averaging 8.5 points per game, and New England is giving up 17 playoff points per game. 17 is more than 8.5. Math. The Patriots have sacked opposing quarterbacks 11 times in the postseason, almost 3 times as much as the Eagles with their 4 sacks. However, 8 of the Patriots sacks came against Marcus Mariota. One name I don't want to hear this weekend is James Harrison, and Philly better have help for Vitae when Harrison is in the game. When I look at the Patriots defense versus the Eagles offense, I think there are 2 ways for Philadelphia to have success. The obvious is to get Zach Ertz heavily involved in the passing game, or use him as a decoy to get Trey Burton involved, especially in the red zone. You know the Patriots will eliminate Alshon Jeffery and Zach Ertz close to the end zone with double coverage. That means Philly needs to find single coverage mismatches in those scenarios. Burton or maybe even Torrey Smith. Jeffery and Ertz have been too good this postseason for the Patriots to not focus on them. Let me be clear, if either team runs the ball extremely well, that is a huge advantage in this game. The run-pass option Another football term being used ad nauseum these last few weeks is something the Eagles do well. Nick Foles is a good RPO QB, which means he has essentially 2 plays called at the line of scrimmage, a run and a pass. And then he makes a decision based on which formation the defense is in. This is not new, but Jacksonville had a lot of success with it early with Corey Grant in the passing game. But then they stopped using it because as a franchise, they love failure. The Eagles, with their 3 running backs, all good at different things, can exploit the fuck out of this, especially with Corey Clement in the short passing game. Or just use LeGarrette Blount and Ajayi to bulldoze through the Patriots defense. Philadelphia doesn't pass to their backs a lot, but that's exactly why they should against the Patriots, because with Clement and even Ajayi, they have the personnel to do it. They have the offensive line to do it, and there's evidence it works. The Eagles' line will have to be great in pass protection because we know Foles' biggest weakness is performing under pressure. And the Patriots' Trey Flowers has 12 quarterback pressures this postseason, which is second most. And that's a huge secret the Patriots have discovered. Trey Flowers and Marquise Flowers both play on the Patriots' defense. The pistol and the stamen. The New England defense kills you with kindness by sending you flowers. And then more flowers and more flowers until you give in because you know, with all of those bouquets in your living room, it's time to give it up and get taken by the man who romanced you with nature's leg spreaders. Flowers. Again, the Patriots defense isn't the most talented unit out there, but they are a unit, and they play like a unit, and they make very few mistakes. It will be up to the Eagles' skills players to make a few plays that they shouldn't make, because the defense will be in their face, like a bunch of blackheads and zits. Eagles, if you pressure Brady more than 40% of the time, you win the Super Bowl. If you don't, you lose. And you pressured quarterbacks 41% of the time this season. That's it, but I feel like I'm forgetting something. Forgetting to mention someone. Now we know Tom Brady's obvious. Oh yeah, Dion Lewis. Dion Lewis could kill you, Philadelphia. Which leads us to the final prediction. And yeah, I'm predicting the Patriots to win. Eagles fans, you're welcome. I predicted the Eagles to lose every game this postseason, so let's hope I continue to be right by being dead fucking wrong. Patriots win 28-24.
So then let's get out there and win one for the hard-working people of
And I'm gonna leave you with this video from Jeff Klein, who had his kids say FYTB, but like the way a good, responsible parent would.
F for Tom Brady, let's give Gronkowski. I don't know.
There's a lot of people in this town who would love a chance to win the big game, but they'll never get the chance. You know, the cops, the bus drivers, the butchers, that's who we're playing for.
Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Final prediction episode, Super Bowl 52, shitfest fuckadaroo. Make sure you subscribe here on YouTube, share these videos on Facebook, and if you want to talk football, I'm on Twitter at Brandon Perna. Ask me questions, and I'll pretend to give you answers. Can the Eagles win? I don't know.